Hi everyone, it's Jay Egersdorff here. I'm here to chat to you about game week 36 of the Fantasy Premier League. Game week 35 is just behind us. It was the free hit week for many people, including myself, so that's the people that have got the free hit chip and were able to completely revamp their team for the shortened game week, so there wasn't many fixtures happening in game week 35, so I was pretty pleased. 75 points I got, that puts me up to 897th overall, so pretty good place to be with a few game weeks left to go now. Hopefully I can build on that. I've still got the triple captain chip and then that's me done. I've not got any more chips left. So moving on to game week 36, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to cover in this video. So I want to talk to you about Salah, I want to talk to you about Man City, about Spurs, about some of the teams that are, I think, pretty much close to getting relegated now. Obviously West Brom are all but gone, even though they've had that good return to form. So if we start with Liverpool, am I worried that I don't have Salah in my team? The answer is yes, pretty concerned about that. I took a bit of a gamble a few game weeks ago ahead of the Everton game and I switched him out for Dele Alli, which kind of hasn't really paid off. And I watched the Champions League game last night against Roma and he was absolutely sensational. So the gamble I was taking was that he wouldn't play in the Stoke game in game week 36. And I guess the way the draw's landed, it's landed quite favourably if you do have Salah, because they played Tuesday yesterday and they don't play again till Wednesday, as opposed to playing Wednesday and then Tuesday, and of course you lose two rest days. And Liverpool, because of that stupid West Brom result where they threw away the lead, they could really do with a win, because if Chelsea do win all their remaining games, of which Liverpool is one of them, and Liverpool do slip up, then Chelsea, it's within their hands to go past Liverpool and nick that Champions League spot off them. They do have the insurance of a final game against Brighton on the last day of the season, but not sure they're going to want it to go down to that. So do I think Salah will play? There's every chance he could play. I think he got brought off last night when they were 5-0 up with the view to him playing on Saturday against Stoke. But then, of course, they conceded the late 2 goals. An obvious replacement would be Ings. They could put Ings in the team and maybe Solanke in for Firmino. So it's really 50-50. So keep an eye on the reports and the Klopp press conferences and things. I think on the other hand, I'm taking a small crumb of comfort from the fact that Stoke are going into this game and they really have to win. It's looking pretty dire for Stoke after that draw with Burnley. If they don't win, they're as good as gone. They're pretty much gone already, just because of the fact they've played a game more than Swansea. But they do still have Swansea to play, of course. That's going to add to the fact, I think, that Stoke are going to be hitting that game pretty hard. So if I was Klopp, would I want my best player, maybe at the minute the world's best player, playing in a game against a robust Stoke team that are absolutely fighting for their lives? I'm not sure. Can they win that game without him? Maybe. So watch this space on that one. Man City, if you saw the game on Sunday, they were absolutely sensational. I took a punt with my free hit. I had De Bruyne, I had Jesus and I had Sterling. Each one of them scored. Each one of them looked like they could get double-digit point returns at any moment. I think if you don't have a Man City player in your team at the minute, like me, particularly an attacking one, you do need to readdress that. They've got the double game week next week. They've got 2 home games in that double game week. Wow. And even if one of those guys that you bring in maybe doesn't play the second game, I mean, the fact Man City at home to Huddersfield and another team that escapes me that's not doing so good. I can't remember who it is. Is it Brighton? That's kind of down at the bottom. I mean, that is lick your lips time. That's pretty exciting. So I think that's definitely something to think about. Interesting that Spurs got another disappointment at Wembley in the semi-final over the weekend. So I'm backing them to bounce back. They've got Watford, they've got West Brom, they've got Newcastle, they've got Leicester, so they've got some fairly reasonable ties. I've still got 3 Spurs guys in my team. I think it's quite important that they get a win on Monday, because going into that game, if Chelsea win against Swansea on Saturday, they'll only be 2 points behind Spurs, and that was a really big gap until a few weeks ago. But Chelsea have quietly gone about their business and turned over a few wins in the last few weeks that is definitely put them on the cusp of contention still for the Champions League. So I do think Spurs are going to have to book their ideas up and bounce back for that match. And then another team that I think have to perform this week, if they don't win this game, like Stoke, they're as good as gone, and that's Southampton. They've got Bournemouth at home. They've still got Swansea to play. That match that they have in game week 36 is absolutely crucial. I've got Cedric in my team, so I'm backing him, hopefully for a clean sheet. I can see it being a tight game. It's a local derby. Maybe nick a 1-0 win there. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit of a gamble, but players that are really fighting for their lives. And of course, we've seen over the years in these final few game weeks, I talked about it in an earlier video, a good few game weeks ago, about some research that was done, which referred to sporting performance going against the odds in the final weeks of the season. So matches that in any other time of the season, you would expect the lesser favoured team to get a result. Lo and behold, they go and get a victory. So who knows, could Stoke win at Anfield? It's unlikely, we know, but probably worth looking at the odds for that one if you fancy a punt. So finally, captain choices this week. Salah, keep your eye on the press conferences. Like I said, if he plays, that's a reasonable bet. Our old friend Kane, he's still in the run for the Champions League, the Golden Boot, and of course the Champions League spaces. But also I wonder if you might want to punt on Jesus this week. He didn't look brilliantly on form against Swansea, but he still got a goal, still got an assist. He did miss a penalty, but that could be a differential if you're looking for catching up in your mini leagues, because he is pretty much nailed on with Aguero being injured. So hope that's valuable. Thank you for reaching out and all your support. A bit of a cool bit of news that's happened to me in the last few weeks. I've actually been contacted by the BBC, so I'm going to be appearing on a programme to talk about fantasy football, we've filmed it already, and that's coming out in July. So I'll keep you posted as to when that's on. So if you're in an area, a country that receives BBC TV or internet, you can check that out. Keep the comments coming and enjoy your game week. Cheers.